In this video, I'm going to show you how often you need to train in order to complete an Ironman 70.3 triathlon. Hey there, my name is Phil Mosley, and today I want to talk to you about training for an Ironman 70.3. A lot of people are wondering how much time they need to invest in order to complete the race. And in this video, I'm going to break it all down for you. I'll give you an overview of how often you should train for an Ironman 70.3 and what kind of workouts you should do to make sure you're peaking at the right time. So stay tuned. With its 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride, and its 13.1 mile run, an Ironman triathlon is no walk in the park. It's a serious challenge that requires a well thought out training program if you want to finish in one piece. But how often should you train? And how long should your workouts be? And how much rest do you need? I'll take a look at what it takes to prepare for this demanding competition. And before I start, I'd love to hear if you're training for an Ironman 70.3 triathlon or if you've done one in the past. How often do you train each week? Let me know in the comments section below. The question, how often should you train, is one of the most common questions we get from triathletes, and it's a valid one. After all, you don't want to overtrain and risk injury, but also you don't want to undertrain and find yourself struggling on race day. The answer largely depends on your current fitness level and how much free time you actually have for training. If you're relatively new to endurance sports like triathlon, I recommend starting off with 3 to 4 workouts per week. And that would involve one swim, one cycle, one run, and a strength and flexibility training session. Then, as you get fitter over a period of weeks and months, you can build up to 6 or 7 workouts per week. And that would involve 2 swims, 2 rides, 2 runs, and a strength and flexibility workout. However, if you're coming into this race with years of experience and you have a flexible schedule, you could build up to training 10 or 11 times per week. That would typically involve 3 swims, 3 rides, and 3 runs per week, plus 1 or 2 strength workouts. Anything more than that is subject to the law of diminishing returns, especially if you're trying to juggle a heavy training load with a job and a family life. Of course, it's different if you're a professional and you have no major time limitations. Pro triathletes train 2 or 3 times per day, but that takes years of training, lots of downtime, and a good amount of talent to maintain such a heavy load without getting injured or burnt out. And it's not what I'm recommending that you do here. In order to be successful in an Ironman 70.3, you need to be well-rounded in all 3 disciplines: swimming, biking, and running. That means your workouts should consist of a good mix of all 3. A good rule of thumb is to do 2 to 3 swim workouts per week, 2 to 3 bike workouts per week, and 2 to 3 run workouts per week. And of course, as you get closer to race day, you'll want to start doing more brick workouts, which are swim to bike or bike to run combinations, to get your body used to the fatigue of transitioning from one discipline to the next. Around 80 to 90% of your total training time should be done at an easy intensity. I always say, if you can't maintain a conversation, you're going too hard. Whereas the other 10 to 20% of your training should feel more intense, so that you're working up a sweat and breathing harder. And when you're doing this kind of higher intensity exercise, it's important to take regular short rests in between your harder efforts. But no matter what your experience level is, it's important to allow yourself time to recover between all your workouts. Overtraining can lead to injuries, burnout, and a decrease in performance. So make sure to listen to your body and take rest days when needed. There's no magic formula for how often you should train for an Ironman 70.3 triathlon. It depends on factors like your experience level and available free time. However, as a general rule of thumb, complete beginners should start with 3 or 4 workouts per week, and experienced athletes can train up to 9 or 10 times per week.